Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. Today, we're going to have a blast as always. And I want to start today by reading a review. This is by Exercise Guru. And Exercise Guru, please, if you're listening to this, please send me a PM and say, hey, I'm Exercise Guru. I'm the one who left you that amazing review. But this doctor says business is a skill. Leaves me those 5 wonderful stars that I love to see every single time. And says Dr. Una has the right mix of education, coaching, optimism, and encouragement. I took to heart her advice to live in discomfort and understand that everything is a skill that can be learned. Now, I am so excited to read this review because this was the starting point of the change for me. It is what took me from somebody who thought I could not start a business, I could not thrive as an entrepreneur, who was so uncomfortable talking about money, afraid to lead a team. And all of that took me from that person to a person who's a serial entrepreneur, who has companies, who are team-led, who is a great leader, who is influencing a whole sphere of society, and all of those things. It was the starting point of all of that was, business is a skill. It's a learnable skill. I can learn it, and embracing living in my discomfort zone. So Exercise Guru, I am so happy for you that you found that and you've made that decision that you're going to live uncomfortable, because that is really all the magic is. So thank you so much for leaving that review. And if you haven't left us a review, please go leave us a review on iTunes. It really does make the algorithm happy and shows us to other, physicians just like you. And if you have left us a review, then we would really love for you to post on social media. Like, I'm listening to this podcast. This is the change it's making in my life. I want you to go listen to it too. All right. And tag us, #EntreMD. I'd love to give you a shout out and to thank you, because you're a very important part of the Calvary. Okay. Now, today I was talking to the doctors who are in EBS Scale. Now, EBS Scale is the upper tier in the EntreMD Business School for doctors who have crossed the $1 million mark, are dangerously close to it, and are in hypergrowth. And in that tier, there are different problems. Problems are around, building team, being a better leader, optimizing profits, building structures that can support the growth. It really is my honor to work with these doctors because, they do such amazing work, and they're building businesses that I know are businesses that will go on to be self-led, businesses they can exit from if they want, businesses that they can have other people run while they go on to do other things if that's what they want to do, where they claim their time back, where they have their lives back, where they can't be victims of entrepreneurial burnout is so magical. It's so beautiful. And so I was talking to them today. So one of the doctors in the school, got a connection to somebody who has a connection to somebody who she wants to, she really wants to meet. She really would love to work with. This person is, like a billionaire and all of these things. And, she was wondering, like, how do I create the opportunity to meet this person? Okay. And then, that question, really great question, just kind of reminded me of a concept that I learned many years ago that made a huge difference in my business, in my life, in quantum leaps that I've experienced. And I want to share that with you. Okay. So clearly, the two people in question she was talking about are both very, very, very influential people. Okay. And, how do you gain influence with people who are influential? Okay. And, just to set the stage here, one very influential person in your life can change your life completely. Do you see what I mean? Like, if you become, you have an opportunity and you get into a business arrangement, or you become friends with the Jeff Bezos, or, like somebody like that, it changes your life, right? Because these are people who, with one phone call, one connection, one recommendation, one anything, it will just be life changing. Okay. And sometimes people are like, oh, we're all the same, and it doesn't really matter. And they don't really have respect for people like that. And I will tell you this, people are shortcuts. People can change your life. People are gatekeepers. There are people who can open you to a whole new world. There are people who can make like 50% of your problems disappear with one signature. We have to recognize that. And if you're a person of faith, I'll put it this way, when God wants to bless you, he uses people. There are very few people who will tell you, I met God himself, and he does it through people, right? So we want to respect people. And only people who are influential or anything like that, we respect people, period, because you don't know who the people become. I have a way of saying it that people are like dirt. You never know what dirt has oil under it. You don't know what has diamond under it. It all looks the same. It all looks like dirt, so we want to respect people, period. Okay, so let's talk about influential people, how to have influence with influential people. This is going to be so simple, but if you apply it, if you embrace the discipline of applying it, it will change your life forever. Okay, so the thing about people who are influential, ultra successful and all, is that they are surrounded by takers. They are surrounded by people who want to leverage their influence to hit their own personal goals. They're surrounded by people who want to get whatever they can get from them. They're surrounded by people who want to milk them dry. Those people are in abundance. Now, the people that they rarely find are the people who truly care about them for who they are, people who truly just want to serve and give and be a gift to and be a blessing to them and not really want anything in return. That's rare, right? And so this, it's common, it makes sense that it would be that way, but it is a huge opportunity, right? Because if it is rare that people just want to be a gift to them and, help them, because guess what? It doesn't matter how successful anybody is or how influential they are. They have needs. They have problems. They have things that keep them up at night too, right? And so if you can take advantage of the opportunity and walk away from where the many are and go to where the few are, everything will change for you. And if you're willing to do it long enough, and not as a way of manipulation, like, oh, I'm gonna act like I'm just here for them, and I'm just gonna do it till I get whatever I want. It's not that, but it's genuine, it's authentic, and you truly just want to be a gift to them. It will open so many doors for you, so many doors. So go the opposite route. Everybody would be around them to get what they can get. You go there to give. And if you would do that authentically and you do that long enough, what will end up happening is, in the beginning, they're like, oh, they're pretending. Oh, they don't really mean it. Oh, they won't be here that long. And you stay consistent with that. It changes everything, because then they're like, okay, what do you want? What can I do for you? And what they'll give you will be bigger than anything you could have asked for. Okay. And I learned this principle many years ago. And I have used it all my life. And granted, I am a big giver anyway. Like, I love to help people succeed. That's my whole life. That's what I do when I speak. That's what I do in my programs. That's what I do, that's just when I meet people who are ultra successful, that doesn't shut off. I still look for ways to help them and support them and be there for them, and, just let them have a great human experience, that someone actually cares about them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying nobody cares for them at all. It's just the ratios are so bad. And it has opened doors for me. There are multi 8-figure entrepreneurs that I have a great relationship with, and that's how that door was opened. I have a friend who, like when I say, I opened up the EntreMD Business School, I'm doing a launch, I'm welcoming new students. She's like, yeah, I'm working on some contracts. I just got one for 100 million approved, right? Like, I have friends like that. And how did that happen? How did that door open? Again, it wasn't manipulation. I just saw another human, and I saw that they have needs and they have trials, and I'm there, and I support them, and I let them know I'm there for them, and I do what I can for them. And I don't do it to get something, right? Like, I just want to make it very clear. It's not this manipulation, like, if I do this, I do it to be a gift. But ultimately what happens is then they turn around and they're like, how can I be a gift to you? I feel like such a taker. Like, you're so giving. What can I do for you? It's just because there is a reciprocity bank. Like, I've just put so much in that is just tipped in my favor, right? And it will change your life. And you have people like that, it will change your life. I've had people, there was a lady, a mentor of mine, I guess I can say now, and I'd always watched her YouTube videos and read her books and all of those kind of things. And I didn't really have access to her. Like, she was all the way out there. And I remember when I would use the principles she teaches and I create transformation in my life, I would send her a mail, or I would reach out on Instagram and say, hey, and like, she has hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm not thinking she'll see my message, but I'm like, I just want to show gratitude, and I'm like, wow, like, this is what happened. And I had done it for years. Now, like, I have like complete access. Like, I can call her up. I can ask questions. I've spoken on her stage. Like, all kinds of things have happened. And that only happened because I was just trying, because you best believe for someone who's a content creator or write books or is always speaking, they work so hard at it. But a lot of times you don't really know if what you're doing is making a difference. Like, you kind of know, but it's always good to hear how it is. And I know that, that's a need. And I'm like, I will let her know that her work matters. I'll let her know that. I've had other people, they've going through the most challenging times of their lives. And I'm just like, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. Why? Because every human deserves that, right? Like, I would love that. But you see, I do this regardless. And especially with the influential people, I understand that they need it even more because the ratio of people who would do it for them is so little. And the fact that you're successful doesn't mean that challenges go away. It doesn't change the fact that you need support and you need real friends and all of that. If you will be that to influential people, you will gain influence with influential people. And so I guess the moral of all of this, I'm just inviting you to adopt this attitude of being a giver. So with everybody, but even more so with people who are influential. And for them, I stretch my decision not to be a taker because they already have all of that. You know what I mean? They already have all of that. But if you'll do that long enough, all kinds of doors will open to you. They'll blow your mind. And I'm telling you, one decision, one signature, one favor from somebody who's, really influential will change everything for you. So learn to manage those relationships. It opens the door for what I like to call the unknown, because you really don't know what will come out of it, right? Like it's wild what comes out of it. But that can be what you get access to because you know how to play your cards right. So just wanted to come share that with you. And I would love to hear how bringing influential people in your world and nurturing those relationships, how it changed your life, because it is going to change your life. Be sure to share this episode with another doc in your life. Write a review if you haven't left us a review yet. And I'll see you on the next episode of the EntreMD podcast.